Hey, what's up, guys? This is 2020 in April, which means we are still under quarantine for the coronavirus, and yeah, that nasty stuff out there. I am really starting to get lonely and bored, so I've decided to start YouTube. Right now, this is my very first video, and we're doing a sit down because it is like 2 a.m. right now, and I am an insomniac, so I cannot sleep. And yeah, so I'm also hashtag gay. I'm actually pan. I would hang my flag in the background, but I wanted this to be my background for today because it suits me. Anyway, so today I'm going to share the story of how I came out and give advice on that. And if you guys have any actual questions, you can put them in the comments, or if you want to talk to me about something, you can go to my Instagram and DM me there. It's at dork__fam. That's also my TikTok, and I also have a cosplay TikTok, which is dork_fam_cosplay, so you can follow me there. So yeah, anyway, let's get on into it. I'm probably not gonna edit in a cool shifty thing there, but I wish I will, so I will leave this note that I'm saying right now for editing me later. Okay, put in a transition. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm crazy. Anyway, let's start the story. My story actually starts with back when I was really little. I don't even remember how old I was whenever I found out, but I was really little when I first had a crush on my best friend. She was my best friend since kindergarten. We were very close, and obviously whenever you're that close to someone and you're like best friends, you don't want to ruin that relationship like that and date them. Just like, yeah, it's just not what you do. And she was always really close to me and to my heart, and I'm really upset that I don't actually have contact with her anymore. I lost contact with her in the 6th grade whenever I moved, so I wish I had more contact with her, but I don't anymore. And we were so close. We were like inseparable, but yeah, that's a story for another time. But anyway, I had the biggest crush on her, but I was raised very religious. We went to a church where if you didn't do everything right, you were a sinner. And obviously as a child, that's the way I was raised, and so it's really hard to just try to think of any other way for that to work, like, obviously in my head there's a God, and that's just because that's the way I was raised, and it's really hard to try to think otherwise. But I love science, and I believe there could be a God, but I don't know what I'm saying right now. My point is, that's just the way I was raised. So I was always I wasn't taught what gay was. I was always just taught to find a husband and move on with life. But I didn't want to do that. I really liked girls, and that was okay, for me at least. No one told me it wasn't okay until this kid at church one time asked about being gay, and that brought up a spark in my head, finally knowing what the term was. But I as a small child was very much scarred after that, because what the teacher said was that if you're gay, you're gonna die young and go to hell. And I immediately repressed the thoughts of being gay and was like, you know what, I'm gonna find me a nice guy and we're gonna move on from there. I immediately after that ended up having a boyfriend. Well, not immediately after that, but like after a few years later, I had a boyfriend, and we were more of friends, in my head at least. He really liked me. I was not actually that into him. We dated for like 4 years, and I finally was like, you know what, I just can't handle this. And I'm gonna catch my composure because this is bringing up bad memories. Okay. Obviously my life is better now, but anyway, back then I was very young and didn't know what my thoughts were, so I just assumed, okay, they were right, I had to find a boyfriend. So I had one, I was dating him, and then it hit me. I was like, you know what, I can't lie to him anymore. I can't sit here and say that I have feelings for him like that when I don't. So I went up to him, I discussed it with him, I told him that I think I'm gay and that I just can't be with him. And he actually was really chill about it and completely understood, because he looked me dead in the eye and said he thinks he might be bi. And then, yeah, he hasn't come out yet either. I don't know if he has anymore yet, but yeah. Anyway, after that, I was like, you know what, I'm so okay with, I might tell my parents. So I went home, and I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I'm so ready, I'm gonna tell my parents. And then something popped up on the TV, and my dad made fun of a gay person on the TV, and I was like, never mind. Fast forward a couple years, 6th grade, I moved away from all my friends, everything I knew, and that just, my entire life completely folded in half. And I moved here, I got bullied, I just completely was not okay with myself anymore. I had a little self-esteem as it was, and then I moved here and had even less. And I didn't know anyone. I mean, my cousin even went to the school that I'd go to, and she completely used me and bullied me. Again, a story for another time. But anyway, I was bullied, and I hadn't even come out yet. I was being bullied just for not knowing everyone, which sucked. But then, and I was 6th grader, this close to committing suicide because I couldn't handle my life. Then I made 3 amazing friends, and I still have them, and they are the best things. Sorry. I'm not going to say their names right now because I want their permission before I put their names out on the internet. But one of my friends, she made it quite clear that she was a gay ally. She has so many gay friends, and I make more every day because of her. And she's the first person I came out to. I went up to her and I told her she was at my house, and I went up to her and I was like, okay, I need your advice. I've known for my whole life, but I need I need advice, and I was like, I'm gay. And a little while before that, my brother had come out as trans, but he didn't, like, completely come out. He just kind of transitioned, and we just completely were okay with it, or at least I thought everyone was. And she was like, so moving back to where I was, my friend was like, you have a trans brother, why don't you ask him how people feel about it? I went up to him and I talked to him about it, and right about this time, my mom and my dad were about to get a divorce because my dad couldn't handle the fact that my brother was gay and my brother was trans, and my mom was finally realizing that he was not the person she thought he was. So there was that whole mess. So my parents finally got a divorce, and I went to my brother and I talked to him about it, and he was like, said some stuff about how our very religious part of the family always ridicules him, and then our mom is pretty cool, and then my family back at my home state, that family will be perfectly okay with it. So yeah, I came out to him. He was very happy for me, actually. I was quite scared to come out to him, actually, because he's called me a copycat my whole life, because I've always wanted to be like him, but you know, he was actually very supportive, and he helped me come out to my mom, and then my little brother, and then one day I was with my dad because my parents had gotten divorced, so I had to go hang out with him once a couple times a week. But you know, he had taken me and my little brother out to a fancy restaurant, so because I don't remember why he took us, but you know, my dad was talking about how one day I'm gonna find a great man, and then my little brother blurts out of nowhere that I was gay, and my dad just started talking about how he was disappointed in me and how he feels like a failure as a parent. And then it hit me. I felt unsafe. And if you feel like that, you have to find a way to get out. See, with me, my parents are divorced, so I can just stay with my mom. I don't have to go see my dad because I am already a teenager, so it's my choice. And so yeah, pretty much my dad didn't like me at all because, one, he's sexist anyway, so he doesn't like me anyway. He treats my little brother like a god and me more like a peasant. Anyway, but I'm gonna stop talking about him for a second because it's just gonna make me angry. Anyway, and then, yeah, so that all happened and I felt crushed inside. But you know, my 3 friends were always there for me. They picked me up when I was down, they supported me, they helped me get a girlfriend, which was amazing. She was really sweet, but you know, she eventually, we grew apart and she dumped me. But you know, it was fine, because I had my friends to support me through it, and it was great. It was great to finally know what it's like to date a girl, because I had never done it. I just knew I really wanted to. And then I was like, you know what? I do want to date girls. Like, it's just who I am. I am pansexual, which means I like girls and non-binary and also boys. But I'm not sexually interested in guys. We're not gonna go into that though. But I will date pretty much any gender. So there's that. I just prefer girls. See? And I'm also considered trans because I am non-binary and gender fluid, which means my pronouns are they, them, because I do not identify as a female because I have had trauma with it, and I don't want that. I don't want to be a girl, and I don't feel like a girl, but I also don't feel like a guy. So I am definitely not either one, like not one specifically. Sure, I was born a girl, but I don't want that to be who I am. That's just not who I am on the inside. Maybe what I am on the outside, but it's not who I am. So, all that being said, again, my family is very religious, so there are still parts of my family that don't know I'm gay because, I know they wouldn't accept me, and I just don't want to put that burden on myself to have to deal with them ridiculing me, and I don't want to put that burden on them because they are still my family and I care about them. So I don't want them to have to feel like I am a failure to them. So one day I will tell them eventually when I am ready. So it's all up to me when I'm ready. Just like if you want to come out, it's your choice. Sorry, I'm not an emotional person, but we're talking about like the scarring part of my life, so I might have to stop and take a breath every once in a while. Okay. But yeah, so I am very out. I am completely out on social media, so I post gay stuff. I have pride flags. I've painted on my wall pride flags. I have pride shirts. I have a shirt with my actual name on it, which is Chris, and my pronouns they, them. And I was very excited to go to Pride this year, but obviously because of the coronavirus, I cannot go to Pride, but I will be waiting for next year so I can go to that, because I want to get out there and meet people like me, because that's what's going to help. What helps understand what you're going through is meeting other people that's gone through the same thing. Like, I know everybody's story is different. Everybody is in a different situation. Sometimes you get lucky and you can find someone that was in the same position, same story, or at least similar, and they can help you through it. But, sometimes you just need a little bit of help. And sometimes you're strong enough to do it on your own. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't come out until I was 14, so I don't know. I'm 15 now, and I didn't come out until like October, and I knew all the threats to my life. All my life was safe. I was safe. I knew for certain I would be safe. That's when I decided to come out. When I was ready, and when I knew I was safe and that the people around me would understand. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I'm talking really fast. It might not seem fast to you, but I talk pretty slow on a normal basis. But yeah. So pretty much when you're ready to come out, you can come out. But just make sure you have a backup plan. You have someone that can protect you if things go wrong. And if you have a religious family, you should always talk to someone that knows your family well or knows what it's like to go through a religious family and turns out you're gay. Because it's not a choice to be gay, it's just who you are. And like the church may say that you are sick or that there's demons in you that are giving you these thoughts, but that's not true. You are who you are, and that's that. See, I identify as a demon. No, I'm kidding. But see, because of the fact that I was raised religious, I was raised to be homophobic, but I'm not. My dad is homophobic, so I keep him out of my life, which is what you kind of have to do. You have to make sacrifices for your own safety. And sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the people that you care about's knowledge. So, I would be honest, I know several people that are stuck in a situation where they can't come out because they are too young to live on their own if things go south, and their family is just not accepting. And I have been there to comfort those people through whatever I can, and I am willing to be there for whoever needs it. So I'm serious. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, or if you want to share your story with me, or really anything, because I am here to help. That's why I'm making this video, because I've read so many things that are like, my family kicked me out because I was gay and they couldn't handle that. That's not okay. So if my mom had kicked me out, I don't know where I'd be right now. I would probably be living with my friends, because my friends' families are even more accepting than my mother and my siblings. But it's just, some people are born into good, safe families. Some people just aren't. Like me, I was born in a half safe, half not family. Some of my family is extremely religious and believes that what they believe is right, and some of them are very accepting and love me for me, and they are very happy for me and the fact that I was brave enough to tell them. And sometimes it's braver to keep your mouth shut than to open up yourself to the world, because sometimes it's safer. Being brave doesn't always mean that you have to stand up and tell everyone who you are and I want you to be proud of you. Be proud of who you are and don't be ashamed of it. But sometimes to be brave, you have to hold it in, at least until you are ready. Sometimes you may think you're ready and then chicken out at the last second, and that's perfectly fine. You have no idea how many times I've done that in my entire life. Because, again, I've known I was gay since I was little. It's just always been a part of me. because, you know, you're born this way. It's not your choice. You don't wake up one day and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna try being gay. It's just not how it works. You either are or you aren't. And no, it's not an illness. It's just who you are. So if you think you are safe and are ready to come out, then go ahead and go for it. But like I said, you should probably find someone that can help you and find a place to go if you do end up getting kicked out. Because I do know several people that got kicked out of their house. And I wish I could take them all in and protect them, but that's just not possible. I care too much sometimes, and in that way I care too much about the people around me and how they'd feel if I wasn't me. But you know, I know so many people that are in rough situations. I know people that know they're gay but don't want to come out, and you don't have to. You don't have to right away. So you give it as much time as you need, and when you're ready, you will. You'll know when you're ready. That's just that. It's just how it is. When you're ready, you're ready. I know plenty of homophobic people that pretend that they're gay allies, and they're not. I've heard them talk about me behind my back all the time, and you know, I take pride in it. If I were still able to go back to school, I would totally wear my pride flags as a cape, because, you know, I'm so proud of who I am. And since I've come out, I've been so much happier. And sure, my life is rough, but whose isn't? No one has a perfect life. And if you did, I envy you, because, I mean, geez. It must be rough having a perfect life, actually. I mean, either if you're famous, I guess you don't have that rough of a life. No, you do. Paparazzi. My point is, no one has a perfect life. So, don't worry about it. Don't worry about how, if you think it's the right time, it's the right time. But I'm just saying, double check, make sure you're completely safe, and if you have any relatives that you know are gay or are gay allies or something, go talk to them. Tell them you don't know if you're ready to come out, but go talk to them. They can help. I promise. And they can tell you who they know of who will be good to you and be your ally, and who will absolutely not. So, my point is, if you are old enough to move out of the house, then go for it. Who cares? Sure, I mean, if I was 18, I would probably be in a different situation. I don't know. But, you know, everyone's life is different. Everyone's story is different in some way. So don't take my story and say that my story is exactly like yours, because sometimes it's not. Like, me, personally, I don't know what I believe in anymore. I don't know exactly who I am, but I know who I want to be. I know I'm gay. I know I'm Chris. I know I'm they, them. So, that's all I care about. So, I don't really care if someone walks up to me and they're like, you're not they, them pronouns are only for multiple people. I just ignore it and move on. If they keep bugging me, I'll probably make a snarky comeback to make sure that they get knocked off balance, and then they're like, wait, what? Because I don't care what people think about me. That's what has to happen. You have to know that you don't care if people are going to criticize you for it. If you are ready to come out, you are ready. If you're not, then you're not. If you have someone to talk to them. If you don't, find more advice videos on the internet, or if you can't, DM me. I will give you advice. I've been told I'm pretty good at giving advice. I know I also ramble, which is why this video is probably going to be a lot longer than I expected it to be, but you know, I just want all of you lovely little beans out there, or even if you're older than me, little beans, just take my advice. And if you're in a situation where there's no way you can get out, sometimes it's safer to not come out. I know that sounds crazy, and that if you don't come out, you're not expressing who you are. But if you don't think that you are safe, then there's no point in telling people, because I don't want you guys getting hurt. Just maybe if you have a sibling that's really close to you, maybe they can bring it up sometime or something, and you can see your parents' reaction, or just make some sort of small mention of gay and see what they say. And if they don't say anything, then talk to, I don't know, think about the situation that you're in, assess it, and just don't give up. Because if I had given up, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be in such a good situation. I wouldn't be so happy, and I wouldn't have my amazing friends, and it's just, there's no point in giving up, but there's also no point in coming out if you're not safe, because your safety is number one importance. Sure, there's always going to be haters, there's always going to be people that don't like us, but you know, I'm standing here proud, well, sitting, but anyway, I'm here, I'm proud. I am very much out, except for sometimes, but you know, like I said, there are some people that I don't tell because I know it wouldn't be safe for me, and it wouldn't be safe for the people I care about. Sure, there are haters online, but I ignore them. There is going to be haters whenever I walk through Walmart with all decked out in rainbows and a shirt that says Chris, they, them. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that are a little dangerous. But again, so I know I'm a bit confusing right now. What I'm saying might not completely add up, but what I am saying is, if you're safe and you are ready, then go ahead and come out. And do it in your own way. The way I came out was with a shirt. And I also brought a girl home. So, there's that. I literally brought a girl home and wore a shirt, and that's how I came out to my mother. Anyway, again, it's very much different for everyone. Like, I knew my mom was going to be okay with it because my brother had already come out and he knew she was okay with it. So that was easy. I was perfectly fine. If you know someone, talk to them. If you don't, talk to me. DM me. I will support you. I will give you advice. Better advice than what I'm saying right now. If you aren't ready, you aren't ready. Don't worry about it. You can come out when you're ready. And everybody's time is different. So just know I support you. I love you guys. And I think that's all I'm gonna have in this video. And so I love you guys. Please DM me if you have more questions, or put them in the comments and I will answer them. And you guys can follow my TikTok. It's at dork__fam, and then my Instagram is dork__fam, and then my other TikTok is dork_fam.